Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to Muslim Money Expert. My name's Amin and today we are going to be discussing how not to make money. Now you might be thinking, Amin, that's a bit of a strange topic. Why are you making a video telling me how not to make money? Surely you should be explaining to me how to make money. Of course, as Muslims we understand that the upper hand is better than the lower hand and we should go out there and generate our own income and wealth. But it's also important to understand what are the permissible manners of generating that wealth and what areas to avoid to ensure that blessing continues in our income and our earnings. So in this short video, I'm just going to highlight 4 areas that we should look to avoid when generating an income or doing business. So now turning to the first area that we should look to actively avoid when working or generating business or any form of income, and that is interest. Now interest is simply lending money to somebody in return for payment of more of that money purely through the passage of time, and that equally applies if you are borrowing money. Now Allah has made it clear to us in the Quran that dealing with interest is equivalent to declaring war with Allah, and I'm sure none of us want to be in war with Allah. So we need to actively seek to avoid it. Now unfortunately in this day and age, interest has become prevalent in society and means that we have to actively take measures to avoid getting trapped within it. Now, some common areas of business that involve interest include anything to do with conventional mortgages, whether that be buy-to-let or residential mortgages. So if you're working as a mortgage broker or if you're working in a conventional bank that deals out loans or credit cards that uses interest, these are all areas that we should look to avoid. So those are some of the common areas that involve interest, but it's also important that we look out for interest when we're running our own businesses. For example, if we are buying stock, are we buying that stock on a interest payment, or if we're buying new machinery, does that involve interest on the repayments of that machinery? Those are all areas to avoid. And I know it might be difficult and you're thinking, well, if I don't get a loan out, then my business won't grow as a result of it because I need this equipment or I need this stock. So what are some alternatives that you could look towards? Well, you could look towards borrowing from friends or family, or you could look towards taking on a new business partner to help with that stock, or you could even reach some form of agreement where on that specific part of the stock that you sell that they will get a share of the profits back. Alternatively, there are some new halal financing options out there that are available for businesses and can be found with a simple Google search. I will look to highlight some of these in some future videos, but for now I think the important message is to understand that interest in any of its forms is haram and we should look to avoid it if we want continued blessing in our business. Now moving on to the second area that I wanted to highlight, and that was anything that involved gambling. Now thankfully in our community, gambling isn't as prevalent as it is in other communities. But unfortunately, as we get immersed into this society, gambling is starting to show its ugly head. So what are some common examples that involve gambling? Well, you've got the local bookies, you've got casinos, you've even got the corner shop that's selling lottery tickets and scratch cards. These are all haram. And personally, even if we were to set aside the Islamic prohibitions on it, even from a moral standpoint, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling lottery tickets or having a bookshop where people are coming in and they're losing hundreds of pounds every day. Those hundreds of pounds that they've stolen from their family, that they've stolen from their children. If you feel comfortable dealing in that, that is up to you. But in our religion, it's haram. So anything that involves any form of gambling is best to avoid and look at alternatives. Now turning to the third area that I wanted to highlight, and that is selling haram products. Now unfortunately, a lot of people in our community own businesses that do sell these haram products, whether that be the local corner shop selling scratch cards and lottery tickets, or whether that be the restaurant selling alcohol alongside its halal food. Now when you mention this to somebody, they'll turn around and tell you, but my business won't run unless I sell these products. These are what bring in the customers, or this is what generates the profit. My business isn't feasible without these products. So then the natural question arises, well, is that business really worth saving? Is that business really worth operating if your product, or if your business won't operate without selling haram products? Is that something that you'd feel comfortable taking those profits and feeding your family with? Personally, I wouldn't. And there are many alternatives out there that make it easy to avoid having to sell these products. The haram products are few, but the permissible products are many. And it's also important to remember that the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us that the producer, the seller and the deliverer are all equally responsible for the sin as the buyer and the consumer. So again, personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling these products knowing that it is against my religion, and I would encourage you all to stay away from this area as well. Now turning to the last area that I wanted to highlight, and that involves not so much about what we're selling or how we're selling, but how we go about doing business. Are we doing it in an ethical manner, or are we doing it in a fraudulent manner? As Muslims, it's important that we stay close to our ethics and our morals. Now in Islam, it's permissible to make any profit you want. You don't have to tell anybody the cost of your supplies or how much it costs you to make. That's completely up to you. But what is important is that when you're selling the product, you are selling the genuine product as advertised. For example, if you're a butcher and you've got some meat and that meat is going off, so you push that meat towards the back and you put some fresh meat at the front so the people seeing it see the fresh meat advertised. And when they come to purchase it, instead of giving them that fresh meat that you've advertised, you replace it with the bad meat that you've pushed to the back. That is unethical and that is fraudulent. And although the product that you are selling is halal, you're removing that blessing that was in that income for you. So what is the solution? Well, the solution simply is to advertise the fresh meat as is and reduce the bad meat, and whichever customer wishes to buy that at a reduced price knows what they're getting, and then your income still remains ethical, still remains blessed, and you have told the truth. Now, not only has this kept the income in your blessings, but it will also benefit your business, inshallah, in the long run. Now, how will it benefit your business? Your customers will remain happy with you, so they'll be returning customers. They'll know your products are of good quality and they'll be happy to purchase a higher price. And not only that, they'll be happy with your service, and so they'll be happy to recommend you to alternatives. Now look at it from your personal experience. How many times have you been to a place where you felt shortchanged or you felt conned and then decided to never to return again? Again, your customers will feel the same and they won't want to return to you again having felt shortchanged. So not only will your income continue to be blessed, but also your business, inshallah, will grow as a result. Right, so that was the 4 areas that I wanted to cover in this video. And just to summarize once again, let's avoid anything that involves interest, gambling, selling haram products, producing haram products, or working in a fraudulent manner. And inshallah, by avoiding these, anything that we do will make us successful and will not only make us wealthy in this life, but also make us wealthy in the hereafter. Thank you for listening. If you like that, please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you. Bye.